everyone, Emily here from Emily Reads. I told you today I was going to be filming two videos. Hold on 1 minute, little glare. And so today, right now, this is my second video, and this is going to be what I'm planning to read in 2020 for a reading challenge, and it's the Owl, Flourish, and Blotts reading challenge. So apparently every year they do a reading challenge, and it's kind of centered around prompts related to Harry Potter. And I will be honest and say that I did start reading a book for this challenge simply because I know it's not 2020 yet. However, I feel like the point of these challenges are just to increase your reading more. For me, and to diversify your reading. For me, it was fun to see like what on my books that I haven't read yet at home would fit these prompts. And so for me, it's just a way to help clean up some of my TBR. I have over 200 books on my TBR. So that was what the purpose was for me. One of the books I've started reading is because Sarah Reads on her Discord is reading through The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. It's the second book in his first Mistborn era trilogy. And I decided that book would fit one of the prompts for the Owl, Flourish, and Blotts challenge. And I didn't want to wait until 2020 to start reading it. I wanted to be able to participate in the read along. So that's why I've started the challenge early. If this were like a competition for the challenge, then no, I wouldn't have started it early. I probably would have chosen a different book. But again, the purpose of this challenge is just to read more and to see, can I finish this? So that's why I felt like it's okay. It's my challenge. And so for anyone who does a reading challenge, like, I feel like the spirit of is, if you want to start early, go ahead. If it's not a competition, go ahead and start early. Just read more. So that being said, these are the books that I plan on reading for the Owl, Flourish, and Blotts reading challenge. I don't have all of the books. This will be quite interesting because some of them, one book I plan on checking out from the library, I don't plan on owning. The others that I don't have yet, I do plan on owning, but I just haven't purchased them yet. Or I'm hoping to get them for Christmas, and then if I don't, I'll purchase them. So I have 4 huge stacks of books sitting next to me as I pulled them from my bookshelves yesterday for this video. So this will be interesting how this goes, and hopefully I don't knock over any of the books. So the way that the Owl, Flourish, and Blotts reading challenge goes is it has 12 different categories, and these categories follow along with different classes that you can take in Hogwarts, or different disciplines that you can take in Hogwarts, and then it seems like it's different classes within that discipline. So the first discipline is Ancient Runes, and the first book is I should back up, I apologize. So I'm not going to give a detailed summary of what the book is, otherwise we would be here forever with this video. So I'm basically going to just say, here's the book, here's the prompt that I'm using it for. So the first set category is Ancient Runes, and each category has 5 different topics within that category. So in Ancient Runes, there is Ancient Runes, a book in translation, and that book that I'm going to read is The Hangman's Daughter by Oliver Potch, I believe is how you pronounce his name. I don't know. If I mispronounce someone's name, please tell me. Then the next book is Deathly Hallows, a book with a symbol, and that would be Voyager by Diana Gabaldon. The next book is Tales of Beetle Bard, a fairy tale retelling, and that would be Naomi Novik's Spinning Silver, which is a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin. And the next book is Mistranslation, a title translated differently. I honestly don't know if it's translated differently, but I figure it probably would be. And that would be Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. Sorry for the glare there. And then the next book is Parseltongue, has a different language, and that would be Children of Dune by Frank Herbert. Then the next category is arithmancy, and the first subcategory in that is arithmancy, a number on the cover or in the title, Six of Crows. The next is Golden Trio, part of a series, Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb. I have been wanting to read this for quite some time, so this is probably going to be one of my first reads in January. Then Hoggity Woggity Hogwarts involves music. Diana Gabaldon's Drums of Autumn. It probably doesn't really involve, I know, I've read this before years ago, it doesn't really involve music, but it has drums in the title, so I'm using it. Then Magical Numbers relates to a magical number. I have two options here, it just depends on what my mood will be. So I would like to read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey. I feel like I should have read this years ago. I just don't know if I'll be able to handle it given just the heavy topic and given the fact that I already work with students with a lot of trauma. So if I can't, and reading for me is my way of self-care and escaping reality. So I want to try to read that, but if I can't handle it, then I'm going to go with First Test by Tamora Pierce. And then the last book in this category is Mad Eye Moody, Multiple POV, and that a book that I'm going to use for that I don't own yet. That will be Dragon Keeper, which is the first book in the Rainwild Chronicles by Robin Hobb. Then the next category is astronomy, and the first title or subject in that is Astronomy Set in Outer Space. Sorry, I'm bending over trying to get the books, and that would be Skyward, or nope. Sorry, they got mixed up. Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. And then the next title needs to have Stargazing. It has to have star on the cover or in the title, and that would be Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. And then the next book is about a celebrity, and that would be Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. Yes, I know this is a little stretch, but I feel like the murderer in this book has become quite famous given this book and all the tours that are done now in Chicago because of this book. And then the last two topics in the section of astronomy are books that I don't own yet. So the first one is Sirius Black, has a character with a celestial name, and I plan on reading Ophelia by Lisa Klein, and that is a telling of Hamlet, but from Ophelia's perspective, and Ophelia is a moon, and Telescope, and on social media. And so I plan on reading Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I've really wanted to read this novel, really want to read more about Brandon Sanderson, and that's been on social media. So then the next section is Care of Magical Creatures, and here's where things are going to get tricky. And so the first book includes a magical creature, and I figured I would read The Golden Fool, and I figure it's got a magical creature. If Night Eyes is still in here, he's magical. Then Niffler has a shiny cover, and that would be Wild Card on Marie Lou. This is the second book in her Warcross duology, and you'll notice like these books are not in order of the series. They're just in order of the categories that they fall in. When it comes time to read them, I'll read them in the correct order that I need to. Then Fantastic Beasts. It has an animal on the cover, and I'm going to read Becca Cooper Terrier by Tamora Pierce. It's got birds on the cover. And then the Unicorn, the most anticipated book release. I want to read the second book in the Legendborn series, so I can't wait for that to come out. It's on my wish list. And then a monster book, which is Monster Book of Monsters, scary looking. And for me, that would be Stephen King, The Gunslinger, which is the first book in the Dark Tower series. To me, anything by Stephen King is going to be scary because I know he doesn't write all horror. I know this is a fantasy novel, but Stephen King, I equate him with horror, and so he makes me nervous. I read him years ago. I think he's a fantastic author, but I don't do horror. Then the next category is Charms. And the first book in that is Charms, a book by a favorite author. And that is Deborah Harkness, Times Convert. And I'm really sorry about any glares, folks. I have really tricky lighting in my apartment because I only have like one window. And so if I close the blind, it's going to be too dark in here. And this is all natural light right now. So I apologize for the glare. The next book is Cheering Charms, something that is funny or happy. This is going to be a reread for me. Everything so far has been... Wild Card is a reread. Drums of Autumn and Voyager are rereads. I'm trying to stick mainly to new reads, but those 3 so far are reread. So is this one, and that would be Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. I figured I needed something light and fun in there. Then the next category is Flitwick Short. So I'll either use First Test if I'm able to read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, or I will read The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine M. Valenti. And then the next topic is Time Traveler, Dual Timelines. Oh, no, sorry, I gotta go back. Then it's Wingardium Leviosa. It has a feather on the cover or in the title. And I'm going to read The Devil's Feather by Minette Walters. And then the last topic in Charms is Time Turner. It has dual timelines. And I'm going to read The Rose Code by Kate Quinn. And then the next topic is Defense Against the Dark Arts. And the first category in that is Defense Against the Dark Arts. Features a battle between good and evil. This is a book that I don't own yet. I figured the third Tawny Man book would fit in that. Then the next category is, or the next subject under Defense Against the Dark Arts is Dark Arts has Dark Magic. And I will be reading Robert Jordan's The Great Hunt. Then it's Death Eaters has a dark cover. The Echo by Minette Walters, and I also think it's perfect for this category because it's a mystery. Magical Me has an incompetent character. That would be Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is also a reread for me. I have not read this edition of it. It's the annotated. But I have not read this in several years, over a decade. Mr. Collins, for sure, is an incompetent character. So is Elizabeth Bennet's mother and her 2 younger sisters. And then the last one is Remus Lupin, a paranormal book. And that would be The Keeper of the Night by Kylie Lee Baker. Okay. I have down to my last 2 stack of books, and I'm feeling like everything is precarious, so I need to turn the page in my reading journal. While I do that, this is how I'm going to be keeping track of all my books. So that's just 1 out of 4 pages. So what I've done is I've written in color what the category is, and then in pencil I've written the book I plan on reading, so that way when I do read it, I'll erase it and I'll write it in a colored pen. And also I figured because it's in pencil, if I decide, I want to change up things, or I was planning on reading something longer and I need something shorter that also fits in this category, I can change things up as I need to. So the next category is Divination, and the first subcategory in that is Divination set in the future. And that would be Unwind by Neil Shusterman. Then it's Trelawney, features A Prophecy. The Dragon Reborn by Robert Jordan. Star chart relating to my zodiac sign. So I am a Virgo, if you believe that. And the Virgo is a beautiful maiden. So I'm going to read The Maidens by Alex I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try to attempt it. Then Unfogging the Future, a mystery or thriller. Scold's Bridal by Minette Walters. The Grim Contains a Death. Fox Evil by Minette Walters. It's a murder mystery. The death probably has already occurred before the book, but it features a death. Then the next topic is herbology. The first subject is herbology, a plant on the cover or in the title. This is my behemoth. The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Then Pomona Sprout, a character with an herbology name. This was a little bit of a stretch for me. This is a reread, but I have not read it in like 2 decades, and I tried to read it back in 2010. This was one of my mother's favorite books. I tried to read it back in 2010 around Christmas time. My mother, she shared this love of this book and all the movies with me, and my mother passed away on Christmas Day in 2009. I tried reading it in 2010 and I just couldn't get through it, but I haven't read it in a couple of decades. So the book that I'm reading for this prompt is The Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. It's a beautiful edition. My mother gave this to me when I was in elementary school. You see how beautiful the pictures are. And Lori, or Teddy, the boy next door, Lori is an herbology name. So then Greenhouse, a book with a green cover. I'm going to read The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. Mandrake, a book that made me cry. I just plan to read a book that I know will make me cry because I've already read it before, and also because I just needed something lighter to read. I have a lot of thick books, and that's Wonder by R.J. Policcio. I can't pronounce his name. And then Neville Longbottom, a character who is an underdog. And I'm going to read The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. Vin, at the start of our trilogy in Mistborn, The Final Empire, for sure is an underdog. She probably isn't an underdog in this book, but I'm sure that there probably will be a situation where she's going to be an underdog in that situation. Then the next major category is History of Magic, and the first subject in that is History of Magic. It mentions a historical witch. And for this, I'll be reading The Witches, Salem 1692 by Stacy Schiff. And this is about the Salem witchcraft trials. So for sure, there are famous witches in this book. Let me grab this stack here. Then Harry Potter, it mentions Harry Potter in the book. And this is also going to be a reread for me, but I haven't read it in a while. And that would be Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Hogwarts, a history. It's a historical fiction, and that would be Code Name Verity by Elizabeth Wen. Helena Ravenclaw, a novella or a prequel. Herland by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. And then Cuthbert Binns, a book that you slept on, and slept on is in quotes. So I take that to mean, some people can take that literally, where like they fell asleep while reading it. I take that to mean like it's a really popular book that people have really enjoyed, and I just have not read yet. And so for me, that's going to be The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. Okay. We're in the home stretch. 3 more categories to go. Then the next subject area of study is Muggle Studies. And the first topic in that is Muggle Studies' Own Voices. And that will be The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. And then Flying Car related to STEAM. And this has been on my TBR for years. And that would be The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot. Hogwarts is set in a school. Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Daily Prophet I need to focus better, I apologize. Daily Prophet nonfiction, that would be Prairie Fires, which is by The American Dreams of Laura Ingalls Wilder by Caroline Fraser. I'm sorry, I realized just now that I'm like turning and talking at the same time because I'm trying to get through this, trying to not make this a beastly long video. Then it has a yellow rubber duck, yellow cover, Izzy Willy-Nilly by Cynthia Voigt. Then the next area of subject, let me get my books, is potions. And then potions, a title that includes a potion. And for that, I plan on reading Strong Poison by, oh gosh, why can't I think of her name? Dorothy Sayers. So Strong Poison by Dorothy Sayers, and that features Lord Peter Wimsey. And she has a series with Lord Peter Wimsey, and in Strong Poison, that's when he meets Harriet Vane, who then he falls in love with. She's on trial for committing murder. I have not read Strong Poison. I've read Gaudy Night with them in it. So I'm excited about reading Strong Poison. Then Amortentia. It includes a romance. That would be Unspoken by D. Henderson. Severus Snape has page number 394. This will be a reread for me, Legend Born by Tracy Dion. But I wanted to reread it before the second Legend Born book comes out. No foolish wand waving, so it has no magic in it. Warcross by Marie Lu. And this one I need to reread before Wild Card. And then Liquid Luck, Chosen Randomly. Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. And then the final subject is Transfiguration. Transfiguration, a book to screen. Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. Animagus, a shapeshifter. This is the book that I'm almost done with. I've got 20 pages left to read today. That would be The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. Switching Spell, the cover and dust jacket are different colors. I don't really think that this is different colors, but you know what? I'm going to use it because right now I don't really know what to use. That would be Frederick Bachman, Anxious People. Minerva McGonagall has a strong female character. Vanishing Girls by Lauren Oliver. And last but not least, The Vanishment Spell, a bestseller. Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. And that is it for the Flourish and Blotts challenge. I hope that this video, if you are choosing to participate in the Flourish and Blotts challenge, that this will help give you some ideas. Just so you're aware too, there's also a Facebook page that I am a part of, which I think is great to join. You can get ideas from other people and put reviews on there. So just to encourage you, like if you participate in a reading challenge, join a Facebook group that centers around that challenge to help get ideas, encourage each other, and give reviews. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.